Okay, today, ladies and gents, we're going to talk about how to recreate a bitmap graphic, and this is part two of my series on this subject. Now I'm going to take this logo for Thai Airlines, and I'm going to recreate it. Now, I've already done half of this, and I'll show you here that I've got this line already created here. But I wanted to show you how I did that really quickly. I'm not going to go into a ton on how to do it, but I'll show you the basic steps. So basically, just start picking out a few spots along the line that you want to recreate, and you just bend the handles down to make them come out like you want them to, right? So you just play around with the curves. Bezier handles, or however you pronounce that. One of the things that I wanted to show you here is if you zoom in on this, even though this looks pretty good, you can see that there's a little bit of a kink there. It's not a perfect curve. You can see just right there that there's a little kink in it. To prevent that, I'm going to zoom back out again. Or actually, I can just go ahead and select this particular node. And you can see here, when I have it selected, you can see it a little bit better. This is not a straight line going straight through the two Bezier curve handles. So to do that, I'm going to click on this smooth join, and watch what happens to that. This now becomes a completely smooth join. Now, I may have to readjust this handle here, or both of the handles even, right, just by pulling them out until they fit. I adjusted that a little bit more than I wanted to, and you could just play with it until you get it perfectly right. But that's how you do it. You want to make sure that you don't get any of those kinks, otherwise you don't get smooth curves. All right, so enough of that. Having done that already here, like I said, I've got this red line already done. I'm going to use a little trick. This is because this is a symmetrical object, the one that I've got lined out here. There's exactly the same amount above and below this line. I'm going to use a little trick. Having drawn the first half and gotten it perfect, I'm going to press Control-K to clone it. So I've got another one on top of it, and then I'm going to use this origin position grid right here and select the bottom center one, and then I'm going to press flip vertically, and what that does is it gives me another one right here. Now this isn't perfectly lined up, but with a few nudges with the up arrow key, I've hit about 4. That's it. That's pretty much it. Now I've got 2 lines, one above and one below. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to join those lines up. So I'm going to zoom in pretty close here, and it will help me a lot if this grid line isn't right where these are. And the first thing I'm going to do is make sure that I get both selected. So I've got both lines selected here. You can see I have 2 lines on layer mouse off. And I'm going to use the shape editor tool, and I'm going to go grab one. Okay, and you can see I've got it. I'm playing with it, right? I'm moving it around. If I move that down until I get that little plus sign that just appeared on my mouse pointer, once I get that, they're going to join up. They're going to be perfectly joined now. And now I've got another space where I have to do the exact same thing. I'm going to go, sorry, until I find it. I'm not finding it, unfortunately. There it is, right there. You can see how the little mouse pointer changed. And I can play with that a little bit until I bring it right over it and I get that plus sign again, and I can let it go, and now that's become a single shape. Now if I zoom out to the page, you can see that this is a single shape. And if I move it off to the side and use my color selector to get exactly that color, you can see that's pretty good, if I do say so myself. So now I'm going to just move that guideline back because I'm going to use it again in a minute. But for now, that's pretty good. So the next thing I'm going to do is I want to create this this yellow shape right here. And I'm going to use another trick for that. I'm going to use this contour tool. Okay, so with this shape selected, I'm going to choose my contour tool and grab one of the nodes out here on the edge, and I'm going to just drag that out until I get it to come out to about where the end of this tool comes. Now it comes out a little bit further on this point, but that's not that big of a deal. We can adjust that in a minute. The big deal is that it comes out to here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and change the number of steps in this to 1. And now you can see I have my original purple shape, and I've got this extra shape right here around the edge, which is going to make my yellow shape. Now right now this is it's still one shape, but if I were to convert this to editable shapes and then go to Control U, which is ungroup, now you can see that I have 2 shapes on mouse off layer. All right, and if I just select this one and make it, I'll just give it this yellow color for now, you can see that that pretty much does what I need. Now it's not quite right, but let me show you on the view quality. If I take that all the way down, you can see that I have my original purple shape here. You can't see that it's purple, but you can see that that shape that I've drawn before is here, and you've got this outlying shape too. Now it's not entirely perfect because it's got these holes in the middle. Go ahead and change the view quality again. You can see that there's a different color here because I'm not using the same color as the background graphic yet. But that's quite easy to change. I can just take my my shape editor tool, select all of those points that are in this hole, and if I press this delete points button, that hole goes away. And I do the same thing again here, delete points, and there are some points here as well. And if I take those and delete points, those are gone as well. And then the last thing to do is grab this point here and move it in until it matches the original shape. All right? Pretty simple, pretty easy. The last thing I need to do is recreate this shape. Well, first thing I'm going to do, actually before I do that, is let me go ahead and make sure that my color is the exact same. All right? There we go. Now I'm going to use a trick that I've done before. I'm going to make this temporarily transparent so I can see underneath it. Give it a flat transparency, and now I can see this this last object here. And what I'm going to do there is go ahead and just draw an ellipse that looks about right. Now I'll give it a different color for now. And I'm going to line this up so that it looks pretty good. And maybe even adjust that out a little bit, right? And I can go ahead and give this a transparent shape too, so I can see what I'm doing a little bit better. That looks pretty good for where I'm trying to get to, so I'm going to go ahead, maybe I'll just nudge it a little bit more. There we go. Now I've got kind of an ellipse shape there, and I'm going to turn that into an editable shape. And then I'm going to grab my shape editor tool, and I'm going to click on this one node, and hold down the shift key and tab and hit the right arrow key a few times until I get out to where I want to be. And then I'm going to adjust that a little bit. And then all I have to do left is bend in these Bezier curve handles until I get them where I want. And these don't look quite right, so I'm just going to nudge those out a little bit until they line up exactly how I want them to. That looks pretty good. All right, so the last thing I have to do there is get that the right color. So let me go ahead and take the transparency off. No transparency. And then here I'm going to do the same thing. Take the transparency off of here. No transparency. And I'm just going to grab my graphic and move it off to the side so I can, I've gotten everything. There we go. Move it off to the side, and then the last thing I need to do is just pick this and pick the right color with my color picker. Yeah? Alright, so that pretty much gets me what I want. Without too much effort, and I could fix this curve here a little bit, and I can play with that as much as I want, you know. But that is pretty much how you do it and how you would get this particular shape. Now I've gone way over time on this, but I wanted to show you how to do it, and I hope you found that useful, and we'll come back again next time and see us.